Hey Nine! So yesterday I posted a little information about confidence and how difficult it is to be confident when we are not centered. So even if we have all of the thoughts and beliefs about ourselves that would make us feel confident, if we are not centered in the moment, all of that goes out the window. And so what happens is our ego is in play. And our ego is always trying to keep us safe from being rejected. It's always trying to control other people. It's always trying to help other people to accept us. And it makes it so that our brain isn't working. So suddenly we forget everything that we wanted to say. We show up passive aggressively. We're just not our highest self in those moments when our ego is in play. So what we need to do is learn how to come back, center ourselves in that moment so that our brains can work and we can really show up the way that our higher self knows how to show up. So what we're doing is we are creating this kind of muscle memory, and we're going to practice this a lot so that we can come to this resource and activate it and become centered in those moments. There's two chemicals in our bodies that are in play when we need to be confident. One is testosterone. So the first thing that we're going to do is lengthen and feel into our dignity. And what that does is it releases testosterone, which helps us to be more brave and get out there and say what we want to say. So as you inhale, this is step one, you're going to inhale and you're going to feel into that length. Think about your vertebrae lining up, and there's going to be more space in between each of those vertebrae. It's going to come up through your neck and out the top of your head. So instead of being kind of collapsed and into yourself, you're feeling into that nobleness that is inherently yours, or that dignity that is inherently yours. All of a sudden you're reminding yourself, oh yeah, I have dignity, and you're feeling into that. So that's step one. As you inhale, you lengthen. Okay. Step two is to soften. What I mean by soften is if you think about something that makes you smile, all of a sudden you feel softer. It's kind of like you've become more porous and inspiration can come through you instead of just being inside of you. So think about something that just makes you smile. So it could be your pet, my little pug. Here, let me show you my pug. This is Nellie. Say hi. She makes me smile. Like every time I see her, I immediately smile. My heart smiles. So I'll think of Nellie, or I'll think of my little grandbaby. She's a year old, and I'll think of her. All of a sudden, it softens us. And what that does is it releases oxytocin. So we are feeling more porous and more just able to receive other people and what they are offering us, and we're going to include them more with us. So it's lengthen, or inhale and lengthen. Exhale, think about something that makes you smile. So try that right now. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, think about something that makes you smile. Okay, so those are the first two steps. There's only one more step. The third step is to open. So physically right now, try reaching your arms all the way out. You can't see mine, but they're reaching out. My fingers are straight, and I'm feeling, instead of my energy just being inside like this, I'm literally feeling it come out and through my arms, and I'm opening that energy out into the room, and I'm filling the space with my energy. So what happens with nines is like I said before, we kind of collapse in to keep ourselves safe when we're in that ego state. And the practice is to start opening and allowing all of our energy just to fill the room and to take up space. So feel what that feels like, first of all. Just reach out in the room. Imagine your energy just coming out of your body, and you're like, here I am, everybody. I am part of this. and you're part of it too. It's like you're opening this big bubble. There's a bubble that used to be around you to protect you. Now you're opening this, you're expanding, and you're including everyone else in your bubble with you. So it's lengthen, inhale, lengthen, exhale, soften. Think about something that makes you smile, and then open. And if you're not in a place where you can like put your arms out like this without it being silly, just think in your mind, I'm opening right now. I'm feeling the outsides of my body and feeling into that width. Do you feel that? It's different. So one way to kind of test this is to think about something that felt like a low-grade threat to you recently. Maybe it was a text that you received from somebody, a criticism, or just maybe something that your inner critic was saying over and over again, like you're not good enough to be doing this. So think about that, and as you think about it, fold your arms and kind of feel that tightness that happens naturally when you're not managing your brain. When that criticism or that threat came in. Now you're going to lengthen, soften, and open. Now think about that thing and feel how different that feels. And one thing that really helps me is to think about the words that people are saying, even if it's the inner critic, even if they're not real words, but words in my mind. Instead of thinking about them actually coming at me, I'm just letting them kind of fall into a place in front of me. So you could almost even visualize like a bowl or a basket or something sitting in front of you. And those words are just kind of going right there. And you are open and soft, and you are porous, and inspiration is just kind of coming, flowing in and out. And those words are just words, which really that's all that they are, is just words. It's the circumstance. It's our thoughts about those words that make it threatening. But being in this energetic space of just being centered and open allows those words just to be words. Okay, so practice this. I would suggest doing it at a certain time each day. Maybe it's right before you brush your teeth, or every day when you walk in the door from work or school. I'm going to practice my centering. Lengthen, soften, and open. Feel it. Feel what that feels like. Just do it as many times as you can. It's like learning a new, to play the piano or something. It takes a lot of practice as your body gets used to that new way of doing things. So practice, 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 and then you're going to be able to access that resource in the moment. And just for a little example, I was teaching a class on Sunday at my church. There's probably 50 to 75 people in the room. I notice myself just getting thrown off of that center often when I'm up in front of people like that. So I centered myself before I went up there, and then I kind of notice when I'm getting off. And all of a sudden, as I'm listening to people talk and things like that, I'm centering, just quickly, lengthen, soften, open. And then as I do that, my brain is able to focus, and I'm able to listen to the other person and communicate. And it just feels so much easier, and I feel a lot more confident. So I probably did that 4, 5, 6 times during the time that I was teaching. And I've done it so many times that I didn't have to sit there and think, lengthen, soften, open. It was just a quick little inhale, exhale, and here I am. So that's the idea, is to practice it a lot. Please leave a comment or email me or whatever you want to do if you have any questions about this or need some more clarification. This has really helped me, and I hope it can help you too.